Hey guys, this week I'm making a sorbet. The inspiration behind this is come from coffee beans. So I received a pack of coffee beans from my friend and want to incorporate these coffee beans as a dessert component. So without taking too long, let's begin. These coffee beans come from a roastery called Fortunate Roaster. I'll put their Instagram account into the description box. Feel free to check their range of coffee beans if you reside in Indonesia. For this sorbet preparation, it takes me around 3 days to make it because I'm using cold brew coffee as my base. But if you have an espresso machine, I suggest using an espresso coffee rather than cold brew as your base. It will save your time and speed up the process. For this cold brew formula, I'm using 1:10 ratio, which means I'm using 30 grams of coffee beans with 300 grams of water. The process was simple and straightforward. Just grate the coffee beans and put it into a glass or jar and pour all of the water into the coffee beans and leave it in the fridge for 12 to 16 hours. Next day, just filter it with a strainer into a coffee server like mine. Then the next thing I'm doing is to make my espresso. The purpose is to really boost up the coffee flavor, since cold brew will be really light, and for that, like I suggested earlier before, I guess it's better to use all espresso coffee to really highlight the coffee flavor. After we are done with the liquid parts, then we are gonna reheat the cold brew and incorporate the dry ingredient like sugar and stabilizer. For the stabilizer parts, I leave it, it's up to your choices. Since the purpose of using an agent like stabilizer is to control the water activity in ice cream or sorbet production. Because the component ingredient is mostly liquid and we cool it down to sub-zero temperature, if we have too much water present in our ice cream or sorbet and we are not control it, then what happens is we will have a grainy and icy like a granita rather than smooth and creamy ice cream or sorbet. Other ingredient that play a big role is sugar, since one of the sugar role in ice cream or sorbet making is to give the sweetness. Another role and quite important is anti-freezing capacity. You can try this by making an ice cream and putting a double amount of sugar from what the recipe is. And you will end up with an ice cream that can't be frozen, which is a problem if we want to serve and it's unscoopable. We're gonna bring the base to 40 degrees and then we incorporate all dry ingredient into the liquid base. Here I use an infrared thermometer as my guide to check whether the liquid has reached 85 degrees and then stop the cooking process. After stopping the cooking process, we will gonna transfer it into a container and let it cool in the fridge for at least 6 hours or overnight to mature the sorbet base. The next day we are gonna churn this sorbet base in an ice cream maker according to the manufacturer. And as you can see, this sorbet was quite creamy and soft. The soft parts come from the sugar rolls and the stabilizer, and as well from inulin gave a creaminess to it. Inulin is fiber and has a less sweetness 10 times compared to sugar. And inulin also gives a creamy sensation to the product that we made. But we can't just replace 1:1 ratio with sugar. I swapped some part of sugar with inulin since we still need a sweetness as well in our sorbet. Bear in mind, since inulin was quite new in pastry, what information that I know was limited, and there is a limit consumption a day with inulin. For this, I suggest you to check or browse and read all information regarding with inulin. Here I use it in a plate dessert. I will share the video of this plate dessert and